out of nowhere, depending on the polls. The president leads 3 to 5 points. Some call it within 2 points. That would put it in the margin of error. But it would be very unusual because this state, I don't think, has gone for a Republican since Richard Nixon. That could change. Hard to say. Democratic Minneapolis Mayor R.T. Rybak with us now. He's also the DNC vice chair. Very good to have you, Mayor. How do you see things going in that particular general prediction on the part of the Obama folks that they could have a swing state sweep tomorrow?
Well, I was thrilled when I heard the Republicans predicting they were going to carry Minnesota. The president's obviously going to carry Minnesota, but we love the fact you're coming in and spending money. The president's done so much to help the economy here. We just think it's time the Republicans helped a little too. Spend a little money, spend some ads, but the reality is...
So you don't think there's any chance that they could pick up Minnesota?
There's always a chance. That's why we're working so hard. That's why I'll be up till midnight doing a big campus rally all over the state today. But Minnesota's a strong state for the president, and will continue to be. And you mentioned that thing about the Midwest. I was in Ohio yesterday. I've been a lot in Wisconsin and Iowa. And Paul Ryan has fizzled. They thought he could carry this part of the state. He's not going to even help him carry Wisconsin because as we've gotten the message to people in Wisconsin. Wisconsin's gone as well. So, because that was sort of like the back policy that if the Romney folks couldn't win Ohio, that maybe they could cobble together enough other Rust Belt states, and I'll just throw in there Iowa and Minnesota and Wisconsin, or a couple of these others to offset losing that. You don't think that's likely? No, it's clear they're going to lose Ohio, and so they've scrambled. And, I mean, that's what you have to do when
Why do you think he's clearly going to lose Ohio?
Well, I've spent some time in Ohio. Certainly the polls say that, but also the other thing is they did a lot to try to...
So what are you privy to stuff I'm not? You probably are, actually.
I think there are some pretty good polls saying it, but let's set the polls aside. Let's look at the reality. I've been on the ground there. I was in all parts of Ohio over the past couple days, and what is really remarkable is the Secretary of State down there tried to do a lot to suppress turnout. They tried to cut off Sunday voting, a huge thing for Democrats in Ohio. Well, we were able to keep those polls open, and it was unbelievably exciting to be in Cleveland yesterday, and it was like a street scene with a huge line, which I think is a terrible thing. But the good news is that people weren't moving. They were standing there.
So you're not troubled, Mayor? You're not troubled by the way, I know you're concerned about suppressed voting. I didn't hear...
And we all should be.
Well, I know, but I didn't hear your same concern about these ballots that Romney supporters were writing that came out for Obama, but I'm sure you were, and I'm sure you're looking into it. But I do want to focus on just this notion that the state, as far as early voting is concerned, it's down substantially from the number of Democrats who voted early, about 230,000 fewer this go-around than 2008, 70-some-odd thousand more Republicans who did. Now, I don't know whether that translates into any difference from the numbers you just alluded to, sir, but wouldn't that be a little troubling?
Well, Neil, I think we're looking at different numbers. I know, for instance, that all over the country we've had those numbers, but certainly in Florida, North Carolina, and absolutely in Ohio. We've also had real surges in turnout in, I think both of our African-American Latino numbers are showing up 20%. So, there are a lot of numbers flying around. 20% from 4 years ago. So among those core groups, you're up, even though in the aggregate, the number of those voting early who are counted as Democrats, it's down. We're looking at different numbers. But what I think is really clear is that...
the ones I quoted are just Ohio. Just Ohio. Those numbers, I think, are official. Now, you're right. Now, those Democrats doesn't mean that all the Democrats vote Democrat or all the Republicans vote Republican, but a lot more Republicans voting early this time, a lot fewer Democrats than last time.
It was pretty fun to stand in that line in Cleveland last night, and I can tell you it's really clear that they're voting for President Obama.
Okay.
But the other part of this that I think is really powerful is that we never really shut down the offices we had from 2008. Back in December, I remember opening the second office in Sioux City, Iowa, the second in Sioux City in December. And we've opened office after office. And that's not just about real estate. That's about having a neighborhood network, a turnout operation, people getting to know their neighbors, talking to them. And you can only have a grassroots operation for a president who's got grassroots support. Obama has it, and that's why we're going to win.
All right, we'll watch closely. And you are right about it. It was an enviable grassroots operation that helped the president, then Senator Obama, triumph over Hillary Clinton and then roll to easy victory 4 years ago. We'll see if that is repeated. Good points, old Mayor. Thank you very, very much.
Thanks.
Well, then there's this issue of Benghazi, the issue that Republicans said should be a big issue, thought that polls indicated it should be a big issue.